Hello, third grade friends. It's Mr. Williamson. I'm so excited to see you again. This week, we are going to discuss the difference between major and minor scales. But before we get into all of that, let's sing our welcome song. Here we go. One, two, sing. I'm so glad to see you. I really couldn't wait. Can we clap our hands and count to 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, silent round of applause. Love it, love it, love it. So, in order for us to discuss the difference between major and minor scales, it's super duper important that we remember our solfege that we haven't used in a little bit. So, here's a reminder of the different solfege syllables and hand signs that we're going to be using all throughout the lesson today, as well as part of your activity for this week. So, as a reminder, repeat after me and use your hand signs. Do, re, mi. Your turn. Mi, fa, sol. Sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol. Sol, fa, mi. Mi, re, do. Do, ti, do. Do, sol, do. Do, ti, la, sol. Sol, la, ti, do. Yes, very good. So, what we were singing were different solfege patterns that live within the major scale. So, whenever we are going to sing a song within a major key, we're going to always start from do, whereas minor starts from this, la. So, we have do bass major, do, and la bass minor, la. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to watch a video that's going to help us to really break down the differences of major and minor scales in a more tangible way or relatable way. A lot of people think of major as happy and minor as sad. That's a little bit confusing even for me because I interpret music very differently and I'm sure you all do too. But for some people, it's a little bit helpful. So we're going to watch different aspects of this video together. We'll talk about it and then I'll break down our activity for today. Thumbs up, sounds good? All right, here we go. Here's our video for today. If my computer wants to unfreeze for me. Come on, computer. Unfreeze, 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 unfreeze. There we go, yay.
This video is going to introduce you to the sounds of major and minor. We want you to internalize those sounds and what they make you feel like so that you can recognize them in the future. Major sounds, like this, often make us feel happy or excited. It's a positive sound. There are exceptions to that, but generally speaking, those are the ways that major makes us feel. Right now, close your eyes and listen as we play a piece of music that sounds major. This music is called Eine kleine Nachtmusik and was written by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Where major sounded happy and exciting, minor tends to sound sad, melancholy, depressing, sometimes mysterious. Now, close your eyes again, and this time, listen to a song in minor. This is Mozart's Symphony No. 25.
So I'm just going to pause it right there and give a little preface. So for me, this one doesn't really sound that sad. Maybe think about it as something that sounds a little bit mysterious. And listen also to how the quality of the sound is different from the first example, which kind of had a very bright sound. So this one has a little bit of a darker sound, or you can think about it as mysterious, or you can think about the quality of the music changing, whatever works for you. But sad is it's a little bit misleading for me personally. So see how maybe this song makes you feel as you listen to this minor piece.
In G minor. Hopefully, you remember the scale that we taught you in Lesson 1. That scale, when we sing solfege from do to do and back down again, is a major scale.
Just like we did
Let's
earlier
sing that
today.
scale together. Do.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. I hope you're using your hand signs.
To explain more to you about major and minor and how they work, we need to teach you about steps. Steps tell us how music is going up and down. To do this, we're going to look at a piano keyboard. The piano keys can make it easier for us to visualize these steps. Pay attention to the keys on the piano. It doesn't matter whether the keys are black or white notes. Going from one note to the next, whether we're going up or down, is a half step. If we go 2 notes on the piano keys, then we've made a whole step. Half steps and whole steps are used to make up scales. Here's a scale on the piano. This is called a chromatic scale, and
So before you hear the chromatic scale that they're going to play for you, I just wanted to break down this piece of information even more for you so it's easier for you to understand. So looking at the piano, all the notes, if we include all the notes, it's going to be both the black and the white notes together. And with our chromatic scale, it's only using these little half steps with every single note. It's going to sound like, we're going up the hill or going up every piece of step on a staircase. Whereas when we do our major scale and minor scales later, it uses both whole steps and half steps. And with the whole step, it's skipping sometimes the black note and just going from white to white, or it's going from black to black with a whole step. So it's an even bigger step in the scale. So you'll be able to see that difference as we listen to the different scales, but I wanted to just break that down for you even more so it's easier for you to understand. So first, here is a chromatic scale that is only using half steps, and you'll hear what I was talking about before.
uses half steps. So remember, a half step is 2 notes that are right next to each other, and a whole step is basically made up of 2 half steps, or 2 notes apart. Now, let's look over at the major scale that you learned in our last lesson that goes from do to do.
So we're going to also sing
This major scale is made up of whole steps and half steps. Between do and re is really a whole step. Later on, we'll teach you about the note between those, but just know for now that there is one, and that it's a whole step from do to re. From re to mi is also a whole step. But from mi to fa is only a half step. There is also a half step between ti and do. The rest are whole steps. Let's sing this scale just like in your last lesson.
So I'm going to pause it here. So as you notice, the half steps in the scale do not change at all. Whether you're going ascending, whether you're going up the scale or you're going down the scale. So the two half steps that occur in a scale, whether it's major or minor, will always be in between mi and fa and ti and do. Same with going down the scale. Ti and do, mi and fa. Everything else is a whole step. And this information is going to be just very important for you to differentiate between as we continue learning the difference between major and minor scales. All right, let's sing through this together.
Do.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do.
Now, let's figure out how to go from major to minor. Minor is actually not too difficult. What we do is we're going to add a T and a La to the bottom of the scale. The whole steps and half steps stay where they are, between mi and fa and ti and do.
And do, as I
The
said
shift,
before.
going from la to la instead of do to do, changes the sound in our ears and gives us a minor scale.
So, as I mentioned before, so it's important for us to think of the difference between major and minor bigger than just happy and sad. But literally, the quality of the sound in the scale is different because we are shifting the scale to start from la with minor, opposed to starting it from do and major. Super duper important distinction between major and minor.
Let's sing the minor scale together.
Here we go. La, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la.
Now let's listen to a few more examples. See if you can guess whether what you are hearing is a major sound or a minor sound. Yes, that was a major sound. Did you guess that that was minor? That's correct. If you thought that was a major sound, you got it right. That was definitely a minor sound.
So I'm going to pause the video there. So that was basically the gist of our video for this week. And furthermore, I would love to now switch to what your activity is going to be for this week, which is, I'm super excited, our secret song has returned. And there will be 2 secret songs this week for this activity. And your goal is to guess 2 things. Is it major or minor? And what is the song? So I'm going to do one of them first. What I'm not gonna do is sing through the whole thing. We're gonna do little pieces of it with solfege, and then you have to piece it together on your own. And then when we have our Google Meet session, I would love for us to sing it through together. So here is the first one, and I'm gonna use my handy dandy melodica to help me out with this. So. Repeat after me. La, la, la. Your turn. Fa, do, la. Your turn. Fa, do, la. Next pattern. Mi, mi, mi. Your turn. Fa, do, la. Fa, do, la. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play that on my melodica up the octave, because typically we hear this melody up the octave from where we were just singing it. Here's the first pattern. Here's the next part. Here's the next part. Next pattern. Next part. Last pattern. That is our first secret song. Now, for our next secret song, we are going to use this scale. Repeat after me. Do, sol. Your turn. Next pattern. Fa, mi, re. Your turn. Next part. Do, sol. Your turn. Next pattern. Fa, mi, re. Your turn. Next pattern. Do, sol. Your turn. Fa, mi, fa. Your turn. Re. Your turn. So that is a whole sequence of patterns. Now I'm going to play it with my melodica so you can hear it on another instrument. Next pattern. Next pattern. Next pattern. Next pattern. Next pattern. So that is our second secret song. So as a reminder, I would love to know what are the two secret songs, which one is major, which one is minor, and we will sing through those together as we have our Google Meet session. That is all for today. That was a lot of information, but not to worry. The next couple of weeks, we are going to be continuing that work and deconstructing all those bits of information from half steps to whole steps, major and minor, and even more sight singing. Have a lovely week, third grade, and I can't wait to see you in our Google Meet session. Bye-bye.